What's up, everyone? My name's Fuzzy. Been playing World of Warcraft on and off since 2007, and recently came back to play the MidNight expansion. One of the things I've been doing is going back into old legacy raids, trying to collect all the transmogs, just because I'm kind of like just collecting things. Uh, and I've been having a couple of issues with some of the mechanics on the boss, some of the mechanics just on the trash, or even just getting into the instance itself. So I thought I'd make a couple of videos going back into Molten Core all the way to the current content that I think you can solo, which is probably Dragonflight, Mythic content. I'm just going to be going over how do you get to the raid. If you haven't been playing for a while, what's your best way to get into the raid? Any attunements if it's required. Notable loot and transmog, the materials you might be getting off the trash mobs, or recipes, or pets. And yeah, hope everyone has a good time. So with that in mind, let's jump into Molten Core. We're going to be starting here in Silver Moon City. It's just a good reference point for all the locations we're going to be going to throughout this guide. And conveniently, Molten Core is on the same continent, so we just go down south here towards Blackrock Mountain. It used to be the easiest way to get here was to go to Orgrimmar, take the portal in Orgrimmar to Undercity, and then fly to Blackrock Mountain from Undercity. That was, of course, if you didn't have the Dire Brew remote from Brewfest. That will take you right to the Grim Guzzler, which is right next to the Molten Core instance. It's just a short walk. And what I found doing it earlier in this week is it didn't really save me much time. It was easier, quicker just to fly there from Silver Moon or Undercity or wherever it was in the kingdom I was really. I don't believe there's an attunement for Molten Core anymore. They took that away ages ago. So you should be able to just fly through the door here. And yeah, I need to practice my flying a little bit. But down here towards the lava should be a Blood Elf. You talk to him and you're in. Alright, now that we are inside the instance here, none of this trash is really that necessary to pull. It does drop a couple of material trade goods, such as Essence of Fire, Blood of the Mountain, and Lava Cores. All relatively cheap on the auction house. We'll go over some of that stuff at the end of the video. Um, but I can't really recommend that it's worth farming all these mobs where you see they stun you, they slow you, they silence you. Just kind of a pain in the butt. So we're going to continue on down this way towards the first and second boss. These dogs in here need to be killed all at the same time or they keep resurrecting. Luciferion there, the first boss. And then this big core hound here. Neither one of them have any special mechanics. They're easy enough to just kill them and then move on. These lava spawns are probably more difficult to kill than these bosses are. Excuse me for a minute while I just mess around with my bars real fast. And then we're going to head on to the third boss here. See me just checking out a couple of the transmog pieces I got. Do not fall in the lava. Lava does still hurt even if you're level 90. If you're not a healer and you don't get out of it quick enough, you will die. And then we have the third boss right here. We're just going to snag him up with the rest of these guys. I'm pretty sure I get frustrated and just end up killing these guys early, but that was a different run. Yeah, it looks like we just run here into Gar. He's the first boss that drops one of the two bindings for Thunder Fury. Yeah, that's where it is. I tried to keep doing that pull, but it was just getting too obnoxious. Tier 1 Warlock helmet there. Looks nice. Alright, and then the fifth boss right there. He walked right past us, didn't care. Next boss right there. Neither one of them have any mechanics that really worry about anymore. You'll see here in a second, I think after I kill these guys, I get kicked up into the air. Yeah, that used to be a dangerous mechanic, but you see I was at a shallow enough place, I just hit my head on the ceiling. Down to the next boss, there, you see, did him real quick. He drops one of the Sulfuron ingots, use that to make the hammer. I usually run up this way. Be careful if you go to the left here, that'll kill you. You gotta go down to the right, take that little ledge. Then back to the boss killing. There's a boss right there. I'm gonna drag him. Yeah, I get pretty annoyed with the CC and just take him out right there. Then we have to walk all the way back up this way. You see most of the instance is just running, knowing the correct path to go. This boss, um, most complicated mechanic about him is you have to kill all the ads, and then he'll give up. Then you can loot the chest. The chest is hard to see here. It's under all the bodies. A little frustrated there, noticing I have duplicates. Once you kill that boss, you got to go all the way back to the center where Ragnaros is. Quick note that if you are pulling the mobs, right about here is where they will reset. So if you jump in the lava, they're going to reset. I recommend killing them a little early. Oh, cool. And then, yep, Giant Stalker's Belt. Again, lava bad. So if you do a jump, you can avoid the ticks. It does take a little bit of practice, but it does help. You see how much damage that lava did with just the one tick. But you wait for Snake Man here to do his little monologue. Pulls out Ragnaros, who's looking real puny. Having his little hissy fit because he got woken up from his nap. Again, yep. Legacy raid content, you just one hit them and you're done. Loot it and go. But that is Molten Core. We'll go over some of the materials here in a little bit. Alright, no, I forgot to go over the items I got at Molten Core, so here we are. I pulled out a couple of notable ones. Essence of Fire. It's used for a variety of things in crafting and tailoring, blacksmithing, leatherworking. I see even an enchanting and an engineering in there. Looks like there's a couple of decor items, actually. I'll have to look into those. Blood of the Mountains, just used for a few things. Blacksmithing, I'm pretty sure that's a weapon. And then a pair of gloves. Lava cores, again, used for a variety of things in multiple crafting professions. And then soul fronzing gets used pretty much just for the hammer. The pets I had mentioned, the Ashtone Core, Core Fire Imp, and Harbinger of Flame. Auctionators reporting it as 500 because I think that's what I was posting them at last. I had bought a couple and then reposted them at that price, but you see TSM's giving you some different numbers. We got $7.99 on the Ashtone Core, 200 gold on the Imp, and 200 gold on the Harbinger of Flame. So if you're going to Molten Core to make money, would not recommend. Alright, thanks for joining me on this quick run through Molten Core. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any tips or suggestions, leave them down in the comment section below. And look forward to seeing you back for the next part.